Hey everyone, RogueGold here, and today is part 2 of 2 for my Year 3 content speculation deep dive videos. If you didn't see part 1, I will link it at the top of the screen. Again, I did a video recently explaining how I think there's likely going to be more content than just one game mode for Year 3, as was confirmed by Yannick on Twitter. And so I want to keep these speculation deep dives on, focused on the fully confirmed features of TU13. And while part 1 was the game mode side of things, today I want to jump into what we could see in the realm of player progression, which was the other thing that was specifically noted and mentioned in the post for Year 3 content. And so yeah, let's just dive right in. So the first thing I wanted to touch on was an idea I had that is loosely related to this sort of subject, but I think it could still be pretty cool. Now, player progression can mean a lot of things, but I think them specifically stating in that article, citing build variety and viability as the things they are trying to expand upon, I think that pretty strictly indicates that new gameplay options and progression is the field that they're narrowing in on within this wide subject of what player progression can mean. That said, I still think that them adding this could be really cool for the game, and that is titles. Now, if you don't know what titles are, they're pretty much just a cool and easy way for players to be able to customize and stand out a little bit more. They've been in games like WoW and Destiny. They're basically things that once you do a specific task to acquire them, you can unlock them and put them on your character so that when you're near another agent, or whether you're looking at them in the corner of your screen or whatever, you can see it would say their name, and then theoretically it would just say a title either above, below, next to, whatever, that would signify that you've completed some sort of task. They're basically like commendations in the patches on your arm, except it's associated with your name rather than a cosmetic thing on your character. So like in Destiny, they have it where you do a specific thing for, let's say, Gambit. You get, I think the title for that one is Dredgen, and then that appears like right below whatever your Xbox, PSN, Steam name, whatever is. It appears right below there so that you can kind of see that someone has done a specific thing. So let's say for Division contexts, if they were to put this in, you could have easier ones like Agent or Rogue for like basic, PvE and PvP stuff, just so everyone could at least unlock one. And then you could have cooler ones for like greater challenges. So maybe if you complete a flawless raid, you get the Raider title. Or if you complete a flawless legendary mission, you get a legend title. Or if you do, I don't know, a high-level manhunt run in the DZ, you could get something like Conqueror. Again, I don't think this is what they were necessarily referring to when they said that they're working on new player progression things, but I still think that this would be something cool that is in that realm nonetheless. So I just wanted to mention that quick because I feel like it would be a pretty easy and cool thing that they could add in. But moving on, I wanted to address something that I think will naturally arise, amid this conversation. I've had people ask me about it already, and that is classified gear. I'm not going to spend a super long time on this because my general statement is I don't think, and I certainly am not hoping, that they are planning to reintroduce classified gear to the Division 2. If you've never played Division 1, basically classified gear was 6-piece bonuses for gear sets, pre-existing 4-set ones, and they basically had better stats than everything else in the game, and they gave you bonuses at that 6-piece level that basically made it so that every other build in the game was irrelevant. That might sound kind of generalized, but it was pretty much how it was. And so I have 2 points on this. One, I don't think that classifieds would really fit with their stated vision of increasing build variety and viability. Classifieds were infamous for, like I just said, shrinking build diversity and making less builds viable since they were statistically better than everything else that you could get in the game, and they had the most powerful talents. So one, I don't think that really fits with what they've said they're trying to accomplish here, and two, I personally didn't enjoy classifieds that much because of how restrictive they made PvP and higher endgame PvE content because of, how much they locked out other builds. So yeah, that's basically my stance on classifieds. I don't think and I don't hope that they're planning to reintroduce them. Sorry if you did like them and you want them to come back. Maybe they will. I'm not saying they won't. I just, from my standpoint and my point of view right now, I don't think that's what they're planning. Now let's move on to what I do think we'll see based on the parameters that increased build variety and viability provides. I think we're going to see new ways to be able to upgrade and augment our existing gear and talents. This would give, us, the players, new ways to chase power. It would allow us to, hopefully, if they were to change these things enough, play a little bit differently from how we have before. And perhaps most importantly, it would give the devs a chance to buff and give some love to the plethora of underused and useless talents that we have. So what exactly do I have in mind? Well, let's take Unbreakable, for example, one that pretty much everyone knows what it does. You get your armor broken and you get 95% of it back for free. So let's say you take it and then you upgrade it or augment it or whatever the system might be. Now every time your armor is broken, you get that armor refund, but you also stagger every enemy within 10 meters of you. Alright, so you automatically just upgrade that talent and make it a whole lot more useful on top of what it already was because it now has this extra functionality. Or an underused talent like Mad Bomber, where I don't fully know what the thing does because I've frankly never used it, but it basically lets you cook your grenades, and I think you get a few extra bonuses. But let's say when you cook a grenade, you get increased grenade range and damage, that scale significantly the longer you cook it. That would be pretty cool. Or maybe something like Galvanize gives you some sort of foam and shock immunity on top of the bonus armor it provides for your teammates when you get hit. Is it when you get hit or when you deal it out? I don't know. However that works, you would also get some sort of immunity. Just things to boost the functionality and viability, like that post says, of some of these talents that not a lot of people use. Even the ones that people do use, you can still add, like I said with Unbreakable, you can still add cool things that would make it even more fun and more engaging for the game. Of course, I would hope that all of these things would be PvE only so that things don't get unbalanced in PvP. Maybe they'd be able to do some sort of light reworks on the underused talents so that they would at least be usable in PvP, but I would imagine that these new upgrades or augments would not be available in PvP strictly because Massive has a hard time balancing things, and I can't see them wanting to juggle a whole new set of upgrades and augments for pre-existing talents. I also had another idea, I'm not going to go into as much, but somebody else did comment this on one of my previous videos, is that they could do something with like talent fusions, where maybe you get to mix the effects of two talents into one. Like you could get, I don't know, let's see, what's on a backpack? You get like Concussion mixed with Composure, you get extra damage in cover and getting a headshot, something like that. But who really knows? There's a lot they could do, and this is just my best guess as to what I think we are most likely to see in the category of expanding player progression with the goal of increasing build diversity and viability, like the post said, and like I've claimed throughout this video. But I think that's going to do it, guys. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and be sure to subscribe with notifications on so you can be updated every time I upload. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments, what you think about my ideas here. Do you think something like adding a title system to the game would be pretty cool, even though it doesn't necessarily fit with what they've stated they're working on already? Do you agree with my opinions about classified gear? Do you think that should come back? Do you think they might be able to change it in some way to make it a bit more balanced? And lastly, do you like my idea for upgrading and augmenting our existing talents? I feel like there's a lot of talents in the game that people want to use, but they're just simply not that good. And so I feel like this would really give the devs a chance to revisit those and hopefully make some of them a lot more viable than they currently are. Or if you have other ideas for what you think the devs might do to increase build diversity and viability, let me know down in the comments. I certainly want to start a discussion and hear your thoughts about everything talked about in this video, so let's get that started. But yeah, guys, thank you again so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and until the next one, guys, RogueGold out.